Oregon Driver Manual Practice Questions 2026. Flashcard 1. Regulatory signs. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is traffic signs that prohibit certain actions or movements are red in color and increase safety by controlling the flow of traffic through intersections. Flashcard 2. Stop sign. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, this sign means you must come to a complete stop, yield to pedestrians and other vehicles. When at ID safe, you may enter the intersection. Flashcard 3. Yield triangle red. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, this means you should reduce speed and yield right of way. If needed, stop the same as you would for a stop sign. Flashcard 4. Do not enter square. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, this sign warns you not enters a road or freeway. You will see this sign if you as you would for a stop sign. Flashcard 5. Speed. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, this indicates the maximum speed in miles per hour. The speed begins at this sign and ends where a different speed is posted. Signs may be changed based on current conditions. Flashcard 6. One way. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, traffic flows only in the direction of the arrow. Flashcard 7. Right turn permitted it without stopping. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, this sign may appear below a stop sign. Traffic turning right may turn without stopping. Other traffic must stop and yield right away. Flashcard 8. Lane use control. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the signs are used where turns are required or permitted from the lanes as shown. Flashcard 9. Keep right. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, a traffic island, median or obstruction divides the road ahead. Keep to the right. Flashcard 10. Center lane turn only. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, share the center lane for left turns from both directions. Flashcard 11. Do not pass. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, this sign indicates that you may not pass. Flashcard 12. No turn on red. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, you may not turn during the red light. You must wait for the signal to turn green. Flashcard 13. High occupancy vehicle. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, this lane is reserved for vehicles carrying at least 2 or more persons as noted on the sign. A white diamond may be painted on the lane. Flashcard 14. Pedestrian crossing. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, be alert for people crossing your path. The signs may include a flashing yellow signal that indicates a pedestrian is crossing. Flashcard 15. Multi-use paths crossing. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, bicyclists and pedestrians regularly cross the road in that area. Flashcard 16. Right curve. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, there is a curve ahead to the right. Flashcard 17. Sharp right turn. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, there is a sharp turn to the right in the road ahead. Flashcard 18. Chevron. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the sharp change in the direction of the road is the sign. Flashcard 19. Winding road. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the road contains a series of turns or curves. Flashcard 20. Reverse in curves. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the road ahead it curves to the right then left. Flashcard 21. Crossroads. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, a 4-way intersection is ahead. Cross traffic may enter the road. Flashcard 22. Side road. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, a code T intersection is ahead. Traffic may enter from the road from the left or right. Flashcard 23. Lane reduction. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the indication lane ends soon. Vehicles in that lane must merge into the through lane. Flashcard 24. Merge. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is traffic is merging from the side shown. Flashcard 25. Two-way traffic ahead. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is the one-way road joins a two-way road ahead. You will be facing oncoming traffic. Flashcard 26. Divided highway begins or ends. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is the signs indicate the beginning or end of a divided highway. Keep to the right. Flashcard 27. Stop ahead. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is there is a stop sign ahead. Slow down and prepare to stop. Flashcard 28. Signal ahead. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is a traffic signal is ahead. Slow down and be prepared to stop. Flashcard 29. Reduce speed limit ahead. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is gradually is slow to the indicated speed. Flashcard 30. Roundabout ahead. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is there is a roundabout intersection ahead. Flashcard 31. Railroad advance. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is a railroad crossing is ahead. You may have to stop. Flashcard 32. Low clearance. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is the overpass ahead has low clearance. Do not proceed if your vehicle is too tall to pass under it. Flashcard 33. Still think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is a steep grade is ahead. Flashcard 34. Advisory speed. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is advises the safe speed up for freeway ramps and curves. The sign may be used with other signs. Signs may be electronic and may change based on current conditions. Flashcard 35. Slippery when wet. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is the pavement is unusually slick when wet. Flashcard 36. Deer. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is deer often cross the road in this area. Slow down if you see deer or other wildlife. Flashcard 37. Safety corridors. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is safety corridors are designated stretches of the highway with more fatal and serious injury crashes than the state average. Turn on your lights for safety. Signs identifying safe corridors may include diamond-shaped flags. Flashcard 38. Historical, cultural, and recreational signs. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is these brown signs point to historical and cultural locations. They also point scenic areas, picnic grounds, and parks. Flashcard 39. Motor service signs. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is these blue signs tell you about services or facilities along the way. The signs may indicate gas, food, and logging are available at the next exit. A rest area is ahead. A phone is available or facility or parking area is this accessible to a person with a disability. They also can indicate the road to a hospital. Flashcard 40. Steady red. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is a steady red signals mean stop and remain stopped until the signal changes. You are allowed to make the following turns on red after coming to a complete stop unless a sign or police officer state otherwise. When entering a two-way RD you may turn right. When entering a one-way road you may turn right or left in the direction of the one-way road. Flashcard 41. Flashing red. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is a flashing red signal is treated the same as a stop sign. Flashcard 42. Red arrow. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is a steady red arrow means stop and remain stop until the signal changes, except for allowed turns on red. The same turns allowed for a steady red signal are allowed for a red arrow. Flashcard 43. Steady yellow. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is a steady yellow signal warns you that the signal is about to turn red. Stop before entering the intersection, or if you cannot stop safely, drive carefully through it. Flashcard 44. Flashing yellow. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, a flashing yellow signal means slow down and proceed with caution. Flashcard 45. Yellow arrow. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, a steady yellow arrow warned you that the signal is about to turn red. Stop before entering the intersection, or if you cannot stop safely, drive carefully through it. Flashcard 46. Flashing yellow arrow. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, a flashing yellow arrow means that you may make the movement indicated by the arrow, but first you must yield to pedestrians and oncoming traffic. Oncoming traffic has a steady green signal. Flashcard 47. Steady green. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, a green signal means all movements straight ahead, left or right turns are permitted, unless prohibited headed by a sign. Flashcard 48. Green arrow. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, steady green arrow means you have the right of way and may make a movement indicated by the arrow. Flashcard 49. Lane travel. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, drive on the right side of the road except when passing another vehicle going on in the same direction as you. Driving to the left of the center to pass an obstruction. A road is marked for one-way traffic. A road has 3 marked lanes and center lane is a passing lane, directed by emergency personnel, other persons directing traffic. Flashcard 50. Speed regulations. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the basic rule law. The basic rule states that you must drive at speed that is reasonable and cautious for existing conditions. The basic rule applies on all roads of all times. Flashcard 51. 15 miles per hour speed limit. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, when driving in alleys, narrow residential areas. Flashcard 52. 20 miles per hour speed limit. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, in any business district, within a school speed zone. Flashcard 53. 25 miles per hour speed limit. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, in residential districts and public parks, on ocean shores if vehicles are permitted. Flashcard 54. 55 miles per hour speed limit. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, on all roads on the highway is not meeting any other definition unless otherwise posted. Flashcard 55. 65 interstate speed limits. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, speed limits will vary on the interstate highways. Flashcard 56. Slow drivers. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if you drive slower than normal speed of traffic, you must use the right lane or drive as closely as possible to the right curb or the edge of the road unless you were preparing to make a left turn. Watch out for congregation behind you. If you drive slower than a designated speed, pull off the road at first saved area and let the traffic behind you pass. Flashcard 57. Racing. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, yellow. Flashcard 58. Yellow markings. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, are used to separate traffic moving in opposite directions. Centerline and to mark at the left edge of one-way roads and ramps, two-way left turns and painted medians. Flashcard 59. Solid yellow line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, marks the left edge of a one-way ramps and roads. Flashcard 60. Broken yellow center line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, indicates a two-way RD used for traffic traveling in opposite directions. Passing is allowed for both directions of travel. Flashcard 61. Double center line consisting of a solid yellow line and a broken yellow line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, indicates where passing is allowed. A broken yellow line on your side of the lane indicates you are allowed to pass. A solid yellow line on your side of the lane indicates you are not allowed to pass. Flashcard 62. Double solid yellow line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, indicates passing is not allowed for both directions of traffic. You may turn left across double solid yellow lines after waiting up for oncoming traffic to clear. Flashcard 63. To whale and special left turn lane. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if a two-way left lane that has been provided, do not make a left turn from other lane. It is illegal to travel in two-way left turn lanes, so I entered the lane just before you want to make the turn. Wait in the left turn lane until traffic clears and then you can complete the turn. You may turn from a side street or driveway into a two-way turn lane and stop for traffic to clear before moving into the lane to your right. Make sure the left turn lane is clear in both directions before entering the lane. It is illegal to use an emergency traffic or passing cars to access the turn lane for intersection. Flashcard 64. Painted median with double solid yellow lines on both sides. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is arch, the area between two directions of travel. You may make a left turn across a painted median after waiting for traffic to clear. You may not use a painted as a turn lane. It is illegal to travel in a median with a double yellow line. Flashcard 65. Yellow diagonal stripes. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, use it within a painted median to inform you of fixed object in the road ahead or areas where vehicle use is not allowed. It is illegal to drive in or make a turn across the stripes. Flashcard 66. White markings. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, are used to separate lanes of traffic flowing in the same direction and mark the right edge of travel lanes. These are also used for crosswalks, soft lines, symbols, and words. Flashcard 67. Solid white line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is used for an edge or fog line to help drivers to stay on the road. Flashcard 68. Wide solid white line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, used to direct traffic to specific ways, such as turn lane and two separate bike lanes from other traffic lanes. Crossing a wide solid white line is permitted but discouraged. Flashcard 69. Broken white line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, separates lanes of traffic going in the same direction. Crossing a broken white line is permitted with caution. Flashcard 70. Dotted white line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, shorted dot lines placed closer together than a broken line. Crossing a dotted line is permitted with caution. When used prior to an exit ramp or intersection, it informs you that the lane that you are traveling in this will not continue on the same route, such as a right turn only lane or an exit only lane on the freeway. Flashcard 71. Double solid white line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, means you are not allowed to change lane, stay in your lane. Flashcard 72. Marked crosswalk. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, noted by white lines in the area where pedestrians cross the road. Stop by when a pedestrian is in the crosswalk. Flashcard 73. Stop line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, a solid white line across your lane to show the point at which you are required to stop. Flashcard 74. Yield line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, a row of triangles in lane pointing toward your vehicle to indicate the point at which you are required to yield. Flashcard 75. White chevron. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, may be used to inform you of fixed object in the road ahead for other areas where vehicle is not allowed. Flashcard 76. Following distance. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, saved distance is defined as 2-4 seconds. For speeds greater than 30 miles per hour, a safe following distance should be 4 seconds or more to allow you to make time at a decision and take action. Flashcard 77. Following distance part 2. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, watch for when the rear of the vehicle ahead passes something like a sign or pole. Count the seconds it will take you to reach the same spot. You are following too closely if you pass the mark before you finish counting of these 2 seconds. If so, increase the space between you and the vehicle ahead and count again at another spot to check your following distance. Repeat until you were no longer closer than 2 seconds behind the other vehicle. Flashcard 78. On wet or slippery roads. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, you need more distance to stop your vehicle. Flashcard 79. When the driver behind you wants to pass, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is slow down to allow room in front of your vehicle for passing to complete the pass. Flashcard 80. When following bicycles or motorcycles, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, you need extra room in case the rider control or stops. Flashcard 81. When following drivers who cannot see you, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the driver's large vehicles may not be able to see you when you are directly behind them. These vehicles also block your view of the road. Flashcard 82. When you have a heavy load or pull a trailer, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the extra weight increases your stopping distance. Flashcard 83. When it is hard for you to see, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, in bed with her over darkness, increase your following distance to make up for the decreased visibility. Flashcard 84. When stopped on the hill, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the vehicle ahead of you may roll back when it starts to move. Flashcard 85. When you are learning to drive, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the extra room provides you time to take critical decisions as you learn. Flashcard 86. When approaching or in a work zone, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, traffic may slow or stop unexpectedly in these areas. Flashcard 87. Side space cushion, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, because she's wet riding alongside other vehicles on the street. Someone make out you're lying or trying to change lanes and hit you. If possible, move ahead of the other vehicle or drop back a little. Keep as much space as possible between your vehicle and oncoming vehicles. In general, it is safest to drive in the center of your lane so your vehicle can move left or right to avoid potential problem. Make room for the abuse entering freeways. If there's no one next, you move over at Leon. Hope you make it safely down if needed, speeding up. Keep extra space between your vehicle and Parkersburg, moving away from them without leaving your lane. If you open your door or someone, that may save for me between parked vehicles. Flashcard 88. Space cushion behind, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, you can help find you a steady speed going by gently pressing Greek when you have to swing down or stop. Your brake light will alert her to the right if you can't over. This mean to you or stop tailgating. Never brake hard to discourage tailgating. You can get hit from behind. Flashcard 89. Bat him up, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the mistake that when backing up is failing to look both ways behind them. Mirrors do not give you a full view to see as much as possible your body and to the right and look through the rear window. Flashcard 90. Stopping distance, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, stopping distance can depend on the road and weather conditions, the lead of your vehicle, your reaction time, and the braking ability of the vehicle. At 60 miles per hour, the distance traveled from point to recognize a hazard and apply the brakes. The brakes greater length of football field. Flashcard 91. Looking ahead, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, scanning the room head and to the sides helps you see petitions and head potential hazards that into your path force you to another street or road. Flashcard 92. Gears, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, down before you, use the speed of the low acres. It's posted. Look through the curve to where you want to go. Stay right on the center line in the middle of your lane. Flashcard 93. Changing lanes, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, your blind spot is the area that you cannot see from the driver's seat, even mirrors. Avoiding driving in another driver's blind spot if possible. Flashcard 94. Changing lanes part 2. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, before changing lanes, check your side and rear view mirrors for traffic approaching you behind. Then use your turn signal to let other drivers know that you're playing into changes lanes. Check for other drivers who also may be moving into the same lane. Just before you begin moving into the other thing, quickly glance over your shoulder to the rear in your direction you want to move to check for any vehicles that may be in your blind spot. Flashcard 95. Passing, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, give yourself a good view of the road ahead by not following vehicles closely, especially large trucks and trailers. Know the speed and celebration ability of your view. Be sure you have enough room to complete them. If you have to cut back into your lane too soon, Elizabeth Sadel side swiping of the vehicle, you are fast. If you do not get a head-on crash, when in doubt, see in your lane. Flashcard 96. Passing Part 2. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, when passing another vehicle on a two-lane RD, you should pass only to the left of the vehicle. Pass may not begin before the part of passing zone and must be complete. The limit is speed limit when passing. It is against the law to the speed limits at any time. Flashcard 97. Passing Part 3. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, check for a clear path ahead. Before you start to pass, check your mirror and your pupil's blind spot by glancing over your shoulder to the rear in the direction of the lane change. Turn signal, increase your speed and complete your pass as soon as possible. When you see the beautiful you pass in the review, signal and return to your lane. Flashcard 98. No passing. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, you are in a no-passing zone. Do you know if you cannot safely return to your lane before entering a no-passing zone, your view of oncoming traffic is blocked because you are on a hill. You are approaching yet in the intersection or railroad crossing. The vehicle ahead is stopped at a crosswalk. Temperament a pedestrian to cross. Flashcard 99. Passing on the right. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the vehicle you are passing is making for has signaled for a letter. There must be a sufficient space to the right up for you to pass without deleting the paved portion of the road. We're driving in a bike lane. The road in front of the vehicle you are passing must be clear. You are traveling on the road with two or more lanes traveling in the same direction and you are passing in the left lane. You may pass the vehicle using the right lane. Use extra care. Pass on the right. Other drivers do not expect to be passed on the right. Flashcard 100. Being passed. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, when another driver starts to pass, stay to the right. You can help the other driver passing safely by checking oncoming traffic and adjusting your speed to let the vehicle move back into the right as possible. It's flashing your lights at drivers to let them know when to pass. Flashcard 101. Freeway driving. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, traffic on freeways usually move more missionary because access is controlled. There are a few sharp turns, no railroad crossings, and no traffic signals. Try to keep pace with, but do not speed to stay and drive at the speed of traffic. Right lane. Watch for more traffic trying to digest your speed to permit smooth merge. Slow traffic, light traffic, brake pedal several times. Flashcard 102. Entering a freeway. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, you must yield to traffic. Use your mirrors and check your blind spots before merging. Adjust your speed to much traffic already on the freeway. Keep moving at all possible. Keep moving at all possible. Drivers do expect you to keep up rather than slow down. Flashcard 103. Entering freeway wrong way. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, immediately pull off to the side of the ramp and stop. Turn on your hazard lights to warn other vehicles. Flashcard 104. Entering freeway ramp meters. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, only one each time the green light comes on. When your light turns green, speed of tumor on the freeway, ramp meters will appear non-stop in the dark. Flashcard 105. Leaving a freeway. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, when you leave the head of time, maintain your speed. Once on the exit ramp to the posted speed. Flashcard 106. Vehicle trouble. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, turn on your hazard lights to warn other drivers. Flashcard 107. Turn signals. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if your vehicle is moving in traffic, turn 100 feet before the turn part of the curve in traffic. Use a signal on long enough to alert traffic into the lane. Only use one hand in the daylight and when you are clearly see people and vehicles, you must turn signal. Flashcard 108. Darren's. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, check for traffic behind and beside you as well before you turn. Turn smoothly at a lower speed. Lane use control signs or paper maybe his direct you into correct lane when turning. If you aren't intersection and around the block, then it is to risk direction change. Flashcard 109. Right turns. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, get to the right curves for egg on the road. Just before entering the intersection, look to the left, to the front, to the right and to the left for traffic. Flashcard 110. Left turns. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, on a two-way RD turn right. Just before entering intersection, look to the left, to the front, to the right and to the left again for ongoing the right and cross traffic. Yield the right way to oncoming traffic until it is safe to turn. Turn just before the imagery central point and the intersection. Flashcard 111. Left turn. One-way road to one-way road. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, approach the turn in traffic lane that is nearest curb. Turn into the nearest left lane onto the road that you are entering. You may turn against a red light after stopping to traffic and pedestrians. Flashcard 112. Left or right turn to win the road to one-way road. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, approach the turn in traffic lane that is nearest to the direction of the turn. Turn into the nearest lane for traffic on the road that you were entering. You may make a turn against the red light after stopping and yield to traffic and pedestrian. Flashcard 113. Left turn, one-way road to way road. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, approach the turn lane nearest left curb. Turn into the lane just to the right of the center lane. You cannot make this turn against a red light. Flashcard 114. Dual left or right turn lanes. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, at the same time when same directions at same time when lane use control signs or pavement marking permitted. Flashcard 115. Turning error examples. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the general rule, lean in the direction you were traveling to the nearest lean in the direction you want to go. Flashcard 116. U-turns. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, not allowed to intersection by traffic signal, unless a sign permits the turns. Between intersections in the city, any location within city limits, vehicle cannot be seen by traffic coming from either direction within 500 feet. Any location outside city limits where your vehicle cannot be seen by traffic coming from either direction within 1,000 feet. Flashcard 117. Intersections. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, at an intersection with a stop sign, steady red signal or flashing red signal, you must stop before the marked stop line or crosswalk, if there is one. If there is no stop line or crosswalk, stop before the unmarked crossing area before entering the intersection. See section on pedestrians. Always yield to pedestrians, bicycles, and traffic in the intersection when making an allowed turn. After stopping, if you are unable to see traffic coming from your left and right, slightly pull forward and scan the area. Even if you have a green light, do not enter an intersection unless there is room for your vehicle on the other side. Flashcard 118. Intersection. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, at intersections with stop signs in all four directions, it is common courtesy to allow the driver who stops first to go first. When in doubt, yield to the driver on your right. Never assume another driver will yield the right of way to you. Flashcard 119. Roundabouts. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, roundabouts, rotaries, and traffic circles are all terms used for circular intersections with a center island. Traffic moves in one direction, counterclockwise, around the center island. A warning sign with arrows in a circle pattern indicates a circular intersection is ahead. Flashcard 120. Roundabout approach. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, approach slow down as you approach the roundabout. Look for signs to determine where your exit is located. Flashcard 121. Roundabout enter. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, enter before you enter the roundabout. You must yield to traffic inside as well as exiting the roundabout. Wait for a gap and merge into traffic. Be prepared to stop if necessary. Flashcard 122. Proceed roundabout. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, once inside the roundabout, move around the circle until you reach your exit. Flashcard 123. Sharing the road with pedestrians. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, you must stop for pedestrians crossing the road at any marked or unmarked crosswalk. The pedestrian is crossing the road when any part of the extension cane, wheelchair, bicycle, and etc. Flashcard 124. Pedestrians. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, stop and remain stopped for the pedestrian crossing in the crosswalk when the pedestrian is in your lane. You travel in the lane next to your lane of travel, including a bag lane, or in the lane that you were turning into, and if you are turning into an intersection that has a traffic signal before you may begin, the pedestrian must be 6 feet or more from the lane that you were turning into. Flashcard 125. School zones. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, a school zone. Speed zone is an area where reduce of 20 miles per hour applies, and it is defined by school's beat signs. The school speed zone, it begins at the school limit of 20 signs, end of the school zone sign, or another posted speed sign. Flashcard 126. School zone signs that tell you. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, anytime a yellow light on the school speed sign is flashing indicating the children are arriving or leaving at school. Flashcard 127. Bicycles. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, bicycles often react differently to road hazards up than drivers of motorcycles. These hazards include the potholes, glass, glitter, storm dates, and no tracks, as well as open doors of particles. Any of these items can cause a bicycle to move into your path to slow down. Give schools plenty of room around these hazards. Flashcard 128. Bicycles lanes. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, do not drive in a bicycle lane. You may cross the bicycle lane when turning or entering or leaving an alley, driveway, or private road. Do not move into travel or bike lane in preparation for return. You must yield to bicycles in a bike lane or a sidewalk before you turn across the lane or sidewalk. You must yield to bicycles at intersection at the same as you do for other types of vehicles. At speed greater than 35 miles per hour, you may only use a pass by circle lane traveling in your lane if you leave enough to send to prevent contact with the bicyclist if they were to fail. The same rules of her passing of the vehicles apply to bicycles. If you cannot passively, you must have slowed down and remain behind the bicycle until it's safe to pass. Flashcard 129. Bike boxes. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, a bike box is painted green box on the road with a bicycle symbol. Bike lanes approaching and leaving the box may also be great. You must stop for the traffic behind a signal on the bike locks. Do not stop in the box. No right turns are allowed at these intersections when the traffic signal is red. If you're turning right on the green light, you may signal and yield to the bicycles on the right. Flashcard 130. Shiro. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is sorrow indicates that the rain is shared and a bicycles may be on the road. It is indicated by to chevron the above the bicycles Emma painted on the road. Flashcard 131. Motorcycles and mopeds. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, you must yield onto an oncoming motorcycle just as you would with any other type of vehicle. If you're not sure how fast the motorcycle is going, it is safest to wait until it passes it to make a turn. When following a motorcycle, allow more distance between you and your vehicle and the motorcycle than you would with another car. Turn signals. Do not I'm ugly cancel on motorcycles. On some rider may forget to turn off the signals. Before you make a turn in front of the oncoming motorcycle, it has to have its turn signals on. Be sure the rider is actually slowing down to turn rather than rider it's over signal on. My mistake. When passing, you must allow them a full lane. Increase your following distance. Flashcard 132. Side blind spots. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, large vehicles have larger blind spots on both sides of their vehicles, and smaller vehicles, if you can't see the driver in their side mirror of the large vehicle, then the driver can't see you. Flashcard 133. Rear blind spot. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, large vehicles have a deep blind spot directly behind them where the driver cannot see your vehicle. You also severely reduce your own view when I'm following too closely. Do not pull up too closely behind a stopped vehicle, as it may roll back slightly when starting forward. Flashcard 134. Unsafe in passing. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, it takes longer to pass a large vehicle. Completely pass as quickly as possible and don't stay alongside the vehicle. It is dangerous to stay behind one spot too long because the driver doesn't know if you're there. Look for the entire front of the vehicle and your rear view mirror before pulling in the front. Flashcard 135. Unsafe passing about water. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if there is water on the road, the spray a large vehicle will seriously reduce your vision. You should keep far away as the vehicle as you can, while staying in your lane. Flashcard 136. Dareness. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, large vehicles often cannot see your vehicles directly behind or beside them when they are attempting to negotiate a turn. Observe their signals. Do not cut in between a large vehicle and the curve of it or shoulder. Large vehicles may have need to swing wide and use more than one lane to start working as a turn. Be aware of long roads, they may extend into adjacent turns when turning a turn. When you see a large vehicle making a turn, do not cross the intersection, allow it to complete the turn. Flashcard 137. Mavine. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, when a large vehicle is backing, it may look to block the street to my neighbor. Never crossed behind a large vehicle that is very tobacco or is in the process of backing. Flashcard 138. Hills or mountain roads. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, large vehicles cannot maintain speed when climbing hills and must go slowly downhill to stay under control. Smoking wheels or high speed can be signed a brake loss. If you encounter the situation, leave more space and do not pass. Flashcard 139. Pilot vehicles. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if you see a pilot vehicle oncoming traffic, reduce your speed and position your vehicles as far as the right as possible, while staying in your lane. If you're following a pilot vehicle, increase your following distance. Be cautious when you pass a pilot vehicle or the vehicle in a large load. Flashcard 140. SUV uses. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, flashing amber lights warn traffic that the bus is about to stop off on the road or to load or unload the children. Prepare to stop. When the red flashing lights stop before reaching the bus, stop until the driver turns out the flashing lights. Flashcard 141. SUV uses. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if you're on a divided highway with two rows separated by an unpaved median strip or barrier, you must stop only if you are on the same side of the road of the bus. Flashcard 142. Public transit buses. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, low transit buses often pulled to the curb or load or unload passengers. Vehicles approaching from there are muscular when the bus driver signals to be re-enter a traffic lane and there is no electric sign flashing you roll on the back of the bus. Flashcard 143. Over length and over with loads. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, a red flag, at least 12 inches a square, must be shown by the end of any load. The accents for Pete were beyond the rear of the vehicle. A red light of the visible for 500 feet to the rear and sides must place a red flag when limited visibility conditions exist. Flashcard 144. Emergency vehicles. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, you must yield right of way out to me J-3 NSI vehicles, such as fire trucks, police vehicles and ambulances when they approach from any direction using a bite or siren. When you see it or hear emergency vehicle warning, you must merely drive it as closely as he can on the right side of the road to stop. Do not stop at the intersection. Do not stop at that interferes with these vehicles. Stay stop until emergency vehicle has passed or until he tells you to it. After the emergency vehicle passes, you must stay at least 500 feet behind the vehicle. Flashcard 145. Approaching the emergency vehicle or tow truck. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if a lane change is unsafe and you're on the road with one lane each direction, you must reduce your speed by at least 5 miles per hour under the posted speed limit and at the emergency vehicle as much room as possible. Flashcard 146. Police stops. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, drive as closely as you safely cannot to the right side of the road, stop and turn off the engine. Do you not stop in the intersection or pull into the center median of the highway. Limit your movements in those passengers. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. Passengers should keep their hands in plain view. Show your driving privilege or vehicle registration only requested. Stay in your vehicle. Do not get out less requested. If it is dark, turn on the vehicle's interior light after stopping before the officers approaches. Flashcard 147. Railroad crossings. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, when required to stop, do so at the stop line. If there is no stop line, stop at the least 15 feet from the nearest rail. Flashcard 148. Stop before railroad tracks. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, flashing red lights are activated, a crossgate is lowered, a train is clearly visible or as close to the crossing that you wouldn't be hazarded for you to try to cross. A stop sign is posted, even if you do not see a train coming. If either stops you to stop, it is illegal to go through, around or under crossing gate that is down or being opened or closed. After stopping, do not cross the tracks until you are sure that you can do so safely. Crossing with multiple tracks, look carefully to look at the second train is coming onto another truck either direction. Flashcard 149. Light rail and streetcars. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, slow down and look both ways before crossing the tracks at the intersection. Never look in front of approaching the light rail, train, or streetcar. Whenever arching tracks and then intersection, stay behind and ease up wine and never stop on the track. Check with the trains for your check before changing lanes. Use caution when passing a stopped train or streetcar. Watch for pedestrians. Possession jersey unloading from the train may cross in front of the train in your traffic lane. Wait for your light to turn green when making a left turn. When parking, park behind at the separating the parking area from the truck. If no stripe is present, allow at least 4 feet outside the rails. Flashcard 150. Parking parallel parking. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, park in the direction that vehicles are moving in the lane. Park parallel to me and no more than 12 inches from the curb. If there is no curb, park as close as possible to the edge of the shoulder. If the parking areas are marked, your wheels must be within a marked space. Flashcard 151. Angle parking. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, this type of parking is common in parking lots, shopping centers, and that on White Street. When to driving a large vehicle, avoid parking in the spaces. The abstract traffic on the road signs may be posted to indicate when the parking area is reverse angle or back and only. Flashcard 152. Parking on hills. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, always set your parking brake. Leave your vehicle in gear if it has a metal transition or park it for an automatic transition. Turn your front wheels as indicated below to preventing your vehicle from rolling down the hill in case of a brake fails. Flashcard 153. Downhill against a curb L. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, turn your wheels towards the curb. Flashcard 154. Uphill against curb. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, turn your wheels towards the travel lane. Flashcard 155. No curb. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, turn your wheels towards the edge of the road. Flashcard 156. No parking. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, within 10 feet of a fire hydrant, within 15 feet of the driveway entrance of the fire station on the same side of the street, or within 75 feet on the opposite side of the street, within 20 feet of words or unmarked crosswalk in the intersection, within 50 feet of a traffic signal or sign if your vehicle hides at the signal or sign from view, within 50 feet of the nearest rail of railroad or light rail crossing, within 7½ feet of railroad or light rail tracks when interferes within the train. Flashcard 157. Emergency parking. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if your vehicle cannot be seen 200 feet in each direction, then you need to warn approaching the traffic. This can be done with flags, flares, signals, or foggers placed at least 200 feet from your vehicle in each action. If you must leave your vehicle unattended, turn off the engine, remove the keys, set the brakes, and turn on your hazard lights. Flashcard 158. Defense driving. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, you must be able to see what is in front, sides, and rear of your vehicle. Do not load or quit your vehicle with any blocks that you cannot see. Place in stickers for any objects of the vehicle. The windows can limit your view on the road. Flashcard 159. Safety belts. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, child passengers must be restrained. Approved child safety seat until they are at least 8 years old age or at least 4 feet and 9 inches in height. Must be a ride near rear facing until they reach the year 1 and 20 pounds. Always have your seatbelt on. Do not leave the slack on the lab or the shoulder of the portion of the belt. Flashcard 160. Communicating with other drivers. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is signaling before changing directions or lanes, using your brake lights to indicate you were slowing down or stopping, turning on your headlights, using your horn as a reasonable of warning, using your hazard lights when needed. Flashcard 161. Avoiding a crash, stopping quickly. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if you have enough distance to stop, applied to the brakes. Be sure to read your vehicle's owner's manual on how to use the providers of your brakes. Flashcard 162. Turning quickly. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, in most cases, you must turn the vehicle more quickly than you can stop it. Scanning the area ahead, it will help you and identify potential escape routes. If you will not stop in time to avoid a crash, turn away from it. Flashcard 163. Speeding up. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, sometimes it is best to speed up and avoid a crash. This may have been with another vehicle is about to hit you from another side from the behind or another room ahead of you to get out of danger. Flashcard 164. Driving off the road. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, do not panic or brake it hard. Slow down until you can get back onto the road safely. Grip the steering wheel firmly and keep your vehicle on course. Turn the front wheels just enough to get on your back on the road. Do not turn sharply or you might cross into the road onto oncoming traffic. Flashcard 165. Oncoming traffic. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, an oncoming vehicle is drifting into your lane. Pull to the right as far as possible, slow down, and worry the other drivers with your horn or the lights. Never pull into the opposing lane. The oncoming driver, he may turn back shortly into that lane. In most cases, staring into the shoulder or digit is safer than risking a head-on crash. Flashcard 166. Hazardous conditions using lights. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, headlamps must be turned on from sunset to sunrise. Lights must also be on in Indian conditions to make it difficult to see other people or vehicles 1,000 feet ahead. Flashcard 167. Using lights. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if using the high beams, you must dim your lights. When are you coming to the uncle is within 500 feet. Daniela is with the following. Another vehicle is within 350 feet. They are in a Reuben where I can blind another driver. When you work hard to dip your headlights, another exile lights such as fog lights must be off. These actual eyes can make it difficult for oncoming drivers to see. Flashcard 168. Night driving. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, look slightly to the right of oncoming lights and watch the road edge or fog line. This will help you guard against the headlight glare. Check your headlights, taillights, and turn signal lights often to make sure that they are working and lenses are clean. Be careful when passing at dawn or dusk. If an oncoming vehicle does not have its headlights on, you may not see it until it's too late. Be alert for bicyclists and pedestrians as they are harder to see especially. Flashcard 169. Fog, dust, and smoke. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if you drive into foggy, dust, smoke, or any of the below the visibility, to use headlights on low beam light down from a fight beams reflects back, causing the glare and making it more difficult to see ahead. As visibility decreases, slow down. Be sure to slow or stop at vehicles and other obstacles. Be sure and prepared to pull over and stop if you choose to pull off the road. Pull up as far as you turn right and turn on your hazard lights. Flashcard 170. When think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, increase your visibility to motorists by turning your headlights when the winds have my overs are on. Do not use control in the way conditions. Keep the windows clear of moisture. Vehicles are tired. Sometimes hydroplanes skim or float over wet roads on service. The visibility to steer and stop and can be reduced or lost. So down when roads are wet. If you drive through water and the brakes get wet, gently apply the brakes while driving slowly until they begin to respond. It is best to do this as soon as you can after driving through water. Flashcard 171. Snow and ice. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, gently press the gas pedal. Too much power can make the tires to spin or the vehicle to slide. Jerry, I blow speeds and leave them more room between your vehicle and the vehicle ahead. Keep the windows are clear of snow, ice, and fog, and do not use could use control. Gently press and release the brakes. If you slam the brakes, your vehicle will most likely skid. Get the feel of the road away from traffic when you start driving. Try your brakes lately so you know that what you expect. Flashcard 172. Steadying. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is stay off the brakes until vehicle slows, and your brakes will not be affected. Steer in the direction that you want the vehicle to go. As soon as a vehicle begins to straighten out, turn the steering wheel back into the other way. If you do not do this, the vehicle may swing around another direction and you can start a new skid. Continue cracking your steering left and right until the vehicle is again moving down the road onto your control. Flashcard 173. Distracted driving. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, it is illegal for drivers under a teenage of talk or text on the cell phone or other communication device while operating a vehicle. Turn off our foot in the back seat and ignore it. Drivers of 18 or older must be his hand free as it's Ruddy's cell phone or other conditioned device. It is illegal to have a TV, tablet, or any other video display visible to the driver. It is illegal to play the radio or sound system mic and move that can be heard 50 feet away from your vehicle. It is important to be able to hear the sounds and the screeching tires and science. Flashcard 174. Drinking and driving. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if you are over 21 you feel the test content is 0.08% or more you will fail. If you are under 21 you will fail the test of blood alcoholic content of any amount. Oregon is your time. Flashcard 175. Blowouts. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if a tire blows, answering it will be difficult and maybe a strong pull to the side. A rear blowout causes the back of the vehicle to leave or sway. If you have gripped the steering wheel firmly, slow down gradually, pull off the road. Flashcard 176. Brakes fail. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, pump the brakes. This may build up enough pressure to get them in working again. Shift to a lower gear so the engine that can help you slow down. Apply the parking brake. Use your horn or lights to warn others that you are out of control. Once you have slowed, easy onto the shoulder. Flashcard 177. Headlights go out. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, turn at the headlight switch on and off. Try other lights such as high beams, driving lights or hazard lights. This may give you enough light to guide you on the road. Slow down and use onto the shoulder. Flashcard 178. Power steering fails. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, grip the steering wheel firmly. Steering will be difficult. Slow down and ease onto the shoulder. Flashcard 179. Accelerator sticks. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, search an escape path. Should a vehicle into neutral, use open palm. Avoid shifting into another gear. Steer smoothly while braking. Pull off the road when it's safe to do so.